And a big welcome to everybody out there on YouTube land. My name is Ryan Greco. I will be taking care of the commentary duties today. This is the Grind Session Prep Circuit, and we have ourselves quite the match today. We have the visiting Virginia Episcopal out of Lynchburg, Virginia, the United States, taking on right here from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. We have Orangeville Prep. And this one is going to be an interesting one. We've got a couple of very, very talented, high D1 prospects on the floor in this game. And we're going to let Tony McIntyre work in the PA announcing right now. We're going to let him take over. We'll be right back. And with that, we'd like to welcome everybody back here as we begin this broadcast. Quite the matchup, as we said before, the national anthems. This is the Grind Session. We have Orangeville Prep taking on Virginia Episcopal. Two very talented teams that have gotten off to their seasons on the right foot. Virginia Episcopal, 4 games into their season, they are 3-1. Orangeville Prep, 8 games into theirs, they are standing at 7-1 as Virginia Episcopal wins the tip, and bringing it up is Mississauga, Ontario's own Jalen Llewellyn, a former member of this Orangeville Prep squad as well back in 2016. As we get right to the action here, bringing it up top here is Alex Decker. Decker looking for an option here. He's guarded by Matthew Alexander Moncrief. Now in the corner, number 11, Brent Jenkins and they're going to get a turnover by Ignas Brzdikis. Junior Farquhar now brings it up for the Orangeville Bears. Farquhar now going to let it fly for three. Gets off to a hot start, and it's going to be Orangeville Prep taking the early lead, 3-0, 9:22 to go here in the first. Jalen Llewellyn now bringing the ball up. He's going to be guarded by Keyshawn Saunders, former teammates here going at each other. Farquhar off the switch, Mid-range jumper is good for number 14, Patrick Kelly, the 6'8 junior. Farquhar now bringing it up. Setting up the play. Moncrief. Brzdikis. Farquhar off the motion. Nice pass inside. Find to Moncrief, tries to go up and under. It looks like he's going to step out of bounds, and it's going to be Episcopal ball. And ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to adjust your screens. Due to a couple of visa issues, Virginia Episcopal was only able to bring 7 players over the border for this first game here. Missing from the lineup right now is Saliu Diop and Ismail Plett. Both of them running through some issues, and there's Llewellyn through the middle, throws it right down. Feeling right at home at his former home court. Jalen Llewellyn of Virginia Episcopal, one of the top-ranked guards in the state of Virginia right now, gets his team off to a hot start, and they have the lead. Here's Farquhar. Can they respond? Doesn't get the kind roll, but they do get the offensive board. Farquhar in the corner to Saunders. Saunders attacks the basket, up and in. You can lay it up, count it for 2, and the Bears retake the lead. Here's Llewellyn. Llewellyn looking for an option. Gets it over. This is Kelly. Back to Llewellyn. Off the screen. Finds the open man. Kelly just inside the three-point line. Knocks it down for 2. And a back-and-forth battle to kick off this game here on the grind session. Saunders inside to Moncrief. Moncrief, nice spin move, but there's going to be a charging call. And it is Moncrief's going to get charged with the foul, and it's number 11, Brent Jenkins, who picks up that charge. Very heads-up play, taking the contact, falling to the floor. A rather ideal start for this short-staffed Virginia Episcopal squad. As we said before, they started off their season 3-1, just coming off a tough loss. As Llewellyn lets one fly, no good, out of bounds. It's still going to be Episcopal ball now. They just came off a tough loss, 77-70 over against Trinity Episcopal out of Richmond, Virginia, back on December 5th. Of course, both of these teams have heavy showcase schedules throughout the season. Nice find inside there, though, and a nice finish off the glass with the left hand. And that is Patrick Kelly once again. And he's found his scoring touch early here against the Bears. Farquhar to Saunders. Farquhar working off the screen. Gets it over to Saunders. Saunders thinks about it. Here's Brzdikis now. 4 seconds on the shot clock. They got to let one go. Turnaround, fade away. Just missed, but Moncrief is right there over Llewellyn to tip it in. The fast break, though. Transition 3, knocks it down. Number 11, Brent Jenkins. What a shot there. The small forward senior standing at 6'6". Very rarely can you see even prep high school basketball players knocking down threes like that in transition. Very impressive. Saunders, right back, though, knocks down his own, keeps the game within 1. A very back and forth battle between two very talented teams here in Orangeville. The fans who braved the weather to come out and watch this one, they're getting treated to a great game early going. Number 5, Alex Decker now. He's guarded by Junior Farquhar. Jalen Llewellyn now off the wing. He's going to get guarded by Brzdikis, finds an opening, running shot, tough one. And misses that. A little long. Here's Farquhar now. Can Orangeville retake the lead? Saunders wide open in the corner, knocks it right down. Can't leave him wide open like that. And Patrick Kelly found out the hard way on that one. And both teams not backing down, going right at each other. Here's Llewellyn. Llewellyn to Jenkins, guarded by Brzdikis. Jenkins off the fake, tries to go up. Nice up and under there, but no good. Brzdikis right there with the physical contact, gets his own rebound, up and in. Nope, no call either. But no quit Everybody going for the ball, no one going for the box out, and as a result, Patrick Kelly gets that rebound, and he's going to go to the line for 2. And Patrick Kelly, in 4 games in this season so far, he's averaging 8.8 points a game, 1 assist, averaging 8 rebounds, though, just over 8 rebounds, and 1 block. And his varsity career stats in 27 games, averaging 8.5, 6 rebounds. Still has at least 1 more year to play for Episcopal. Makes good on one of those free throws. Here's Saunders. Saunders works it over, knocks it down, and that's entering the game here is number 30. The Lithuanian himself, Alanis Urbonis. But Episcopal comes right back. Still a 1-point game. Here's Brzdikis from way out. No good, just a little short. Llewellyn with the rebound. Here's Llewellyn. Finds his teammate. Llewellyn comes back again, gets right up there, but a big block by Ignas Brzdikis. Impressive defensive display there against the high flyer. Urbonis with his own rebound brings it back. Also into this game now is Sean Barthélemy, number 15. He now has the ball. Saunders now. Nice pass inside. Moncrief skies over Patrick Kelly for 2. And the Bears open up a 3-point lead. Here's Llewellyn, guarded by Saunders. Jenkins, guarded by Urbonis. Puts the ball on the floor, kicks it back out. Shot goes up, no good there. Tries to tip it back, but it's still going to be, nope, gets it right back. Goes up, plays to the whistle. And they're going to reset the shot clock, and I believe they're going to count that one. And that was number 5, Alex Decker, knocking down that. And there's going to be a timeout here for Virginia. Oh, wait, no timeout. Just a substitution. Coming onto the floor now for Episcopal is going to be number 22, Michael Caprice. He's 6'6" junior, playing in the lower block at power forward. Here's Saunders for 3. Another wide open look, and you just can't leave him open. He's in a rhythm. Just can't allow him to get hot as Orangeville opens up a 6-point lead now. Llewellyn gets it over to Kelly. Kelly to Decker. Decker works off the screen, tries to attack. Kicks it over, shot goes up, knocks it down. Number 15, Bryce Waterman. You can see why he's Waterman. That shot was water. One of the better shooters on this team for Episcopal. Saunders again, left wide open. This time doesn't get the friendly roll, and the rebound is going to be Caprice. Gets it over to Llewellyn. Llewellyn bringing it up now. Waterman going to let it fly again right over Moncrief, but it looks like Moncrief got a tip on that one. Didn't fall for it that time. Brzdikis now using his size, comes up and in. Nice little mid-range finish there over the smaller defender. That's something Brzdikis does extremely well. Recognizes the mismatches he has, takes full advantage. One of the top scorers in the OSBA this season and last season for that matter. Here's Llewellyn off the crossover, tries to find it inside to Caprice, goes off a defender's foot, but it's still going to be Episcopal ball.
Stopping in the game for Virginia Episcopal, Brent Jenkins.
Now it's Bishop's ball here. Quick find inside to Waterman. Waterman, Moncrief all over him. Llewellyn. He's got Moncrief on the switch. Gets it out to Waterman at the top of the key. Can't knock it down. Brzdikis with the rebound. And the Bears have a chance to open up a bit of a lead now. 2:11 to go here in the first. Barthélemy now gets the long pass. Saunders tries to blow by his defender. Up and in. And you can count it. Just catching Caprice on his back heels there. And if you take a look here, we have Ismail Plett, who we were expecting at some point to make it here to Orangeville. He has made it, so he's now on the bench and ready to go for the Virginia Episcopal Bishops. So at some point, expect to see him enter the game, bringing the total roster size up to 8 here for Virginia. And the foul there is going to be on Brzdikis. And there's going to be a timeout here. So if we have the timeout, we've got an opportunity here to talk a little bit about some of the players here for Virginia. For some people who may not be too familiar, this is a team that's sitting currently 3-1 in their local. Well, their their local league out in Virginia. Started off the season 3-0 with wins over Millwood out of Midlothian, Virginia, and Amelia Academy winning 100-61 there at Amelia Courthouse in Virginia. Then staying on the homestand actually, getting a win over Fork Union Military Academy 68-48 before unfortunately catching their first loss of the season back on December 5th against Trinity Episcopal from Richmond, Virginia. Before making their way out here where they're going to be taking on Orangeville Prep obviously today. Tomorrow they have a matchup against AI Prep right here in this same building at 4 o'clock before taking a break for the next little while. They've got a tournament on the 28th out in Beckley, West Virginia. That's going to be both the 28th and the 29th before celebrating the new year. Meanwhile, Orangeville Prep sitting comfortably in second place in the OSBA standings right now, as this is the last week of regular season games for OSBA teams before going into the winter break, where a number of those teams no doubt are going to be going on a couple showcase runs before resuming the season. They're sitting 7-1 right now. They're showing why with an 8-point lead with 1:47 to go here in this quarter. Nice post move there, but Brzdikis right there to disrupt the shot over Patrick Kelly. And he's going to bring it up now. And Ignas Brzdikis, the Michigan Wolverine commit, he's going to be heading over there next year. Here's Llewellyn, the Princeton commit. Kelly, back to Llewellyn. Llewellyn tries to go by Brzdikis. He gets blocked one more time, though. The hesitation didn't know, and you can just see, those are two players that have spent a lot of time playing together throughout their high school career. Of course, with Llewellyn 2 years ago was a member of this Orangeville Prep Bears team. And him and Brzdikis, a lot of battles both in practice and scrimmages. This is a team that knows Llewellyn extremely well, and you can see how well they're making the adjustments. But the Bishops there get themselves back on the right track with a quick bucket. Now here's Brzdikis again. Barthélemy, Moncrief, Saunders now. Saunders is guarded by Waterman. Saunders off the screen, a little long. Big rebound though. Falling to the ground, but gets it. Number 11, Brent Jenkins. Here's Llewellyn on the inside. Nice roll and finish there by Patrick Kelly off the give and go. Gotta love that if you're a coach, making the most of those fast break opportunities. And the lead is now back down to 4 with 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Inside to Brzdikis, double teamed. Spins by the defender though, and a great finish under the basket there. And there's a big reason why he's going to be a factor for a few years to come in the Big Ten, playing for those Wolverines. Here's Llewellyn. He's going to hold for the last shot here. 10 seconds remaining. Try and possibly make this a one-possession game. Lets it fly. Long. Saunders with the rebound. Going to let it fly. And no, that's going to be well short. And after one, we've got ourselves quite the game here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Orangeville Prep Bears with a 26-20 lead over the Virginia Episcopal Bishops. My goodness. A very lightning fast back and forth battle to kick off this quarter before both teams kind of started slowing down, working their offense. And as a result, though, you could just see Orangeville Prep just a slight edge. You can see in kind of length and finishing under the rim, but Episcopal staying with them every step of the way, knocking down some big shots. And with that, we're going to take a quick break before we begin the second quarter. This is the grind session. Orangeville Prep 26, Virginia Episcopal 20. We're just getting started here in the second quarter of the first of this grind session showcase with visiting Virginia Episcopal taking on Orangeville Prep. Big block there. And another big block at the other end, but rolls it right in. You're going to have to give that one to number 11, Brent Jenkins, for the Bishops. Brzdikis, no good. Finds inside. Also, we're seeing our first appearance of Ismail Plett, who's a little late to this game due to issues with customs, but he's on the floor now playing hard for Virginia Episcopal, and they're going to need every man and every hand on deck for this one. And the lead's now back to 1. Here's Saunders, Farquhar. Virginia in a 2-3 zone here. And when you have a 2-3 zone, you're going to have to take those chances, leaving a guy like Keyshawn Saunders open. You got to protect that three-point line against such a well-shooting team like Orangeville Prep. Every player on the floor here can knock down a 3. Here's Plett, first touch of the game. Waterman. Here's Kelly. Kelly lets it fly. Nice little mid-range jumper there. Silky smooth, knocks it down. Lead back down to 2. 8:42 to go here in the second quarter. Farquhar. Saunders. Let's find out there. A bonus wide open. Can't knock it down though. Llewellyn brings it up. Decides to stop, slow down a second. Works past the screen, tries to attack in himself. Nice little skip and dish right off the glass there. You know, third time's a charm for him on that attempted shot, and that's going to go out of bounds. And Virginia Episcopal now, after tying up the game, have a chance to take the lead here at 29 with 8:02 to go in the second. Alex Decker into the game. And number 21, Joe Jones for Orangeville Prep has checked into this game. Here's Waterman. Bryce Waterman. Tip almost knocked away. Llewellyn gets it back, kicks it in the corner. Here's Kelly one more time for 3. You can count it. No, they're going to count that as a 2 actually. Foot was just inside the line. And Virginia Episcopal has their first lead since early in the first. Brzdikis. Right to the basket, up and under, and there's going to be a foul there on Patrick Kelly. Well, fairness, from this angle, looked like he got a big chunk of the ball, but from the referee's angle, looks like he caught a little bit of wrist as well. And Ignas Brzdikis, anyone that's been following Bears TV or OSBA TV knows this player very well. The Michigan commit for next season. One of the top scorers in the OSBA. Really kind of came onto the scene in a big way actually a couple years ago when Jalen Llewellyn was still on this Orangeville Prep team as they were taking on Oak Hill Academy during the Jordan Brand Classic during the All-Star Weekend in Toronto back in 2016. He had a game-high 31 against Oak Hill. And ever since then, he's pretty much been on a tear offensively and has made quite the high school career for himself. Here's Waterman for 3. Short. Rebound, Farquhar. Saunders for 3. And Saunders is feeling it right now. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I have to say he's at least 3 for 4 from behind the arc at this point. There's Kelly, though. Can he respond? Yes, he can. Patrick Kelly. The junior, 6'8 junior, getting it done on both ends of the floor here. Saunders. Llewellyn leaving the three-point line. Knows he's got to get in his face. Farquhar, all the time in the world. And Plett. Plett's going to have to D up a little bit there as well. We'll see. Can Episcopal respond? Is it out? Tough pass there to Decker, but Decker's still holding on to it. And there's a steal by Brzdikis. And he's going to throw it in for the jam. Excellent read by Brzdikis. Could see that the pass was coming and completely committed to it. Gets himself an easy 2. 6 minutes to go. Waterman, miss again. That's going to go out, and it's going to be white ball. That is. Substitutions here. Brent Jenkins in for Alex Decker, and coming in for Orangeville Prep is going to be Julian Lepp, making his first entrance into this game for the Bears. Llewellyn in the corner, behind the back dribble. Gets Plett for the wide open look. He's no good, but the rebound there. Tries to find inside. Foul, and one for Caprice. Big rebound by Brent Jenkins, and Caprice with the finish. He's going to the line.
Basket's good.
And Caprice this season, so far this year, averaging 10 minutes a game, 2.3 points, 3 rebounds. Really looking to try and be a bigger part of this team opposed to last season, as with most players when they move on and move up in age. It's going to be another whistle here. Looks like it's another off-ball foul. And I think it's Keyshawn Saunders who gets called with a hold on Llewellyn. Llewellyn. He's guarded by Barthélemy. Lets it go for 3. Knocks it down with the hand right in his face. Ties it right back up. You can tell the Mississauga native feels right at home here in Orangeville. Lepp. He's going to let it fly for 3. Can't seem to knock it down that time. Was left wide open. Not a bad decision. And here's Llewellyn, a little strong on that one. Fast break, but Llewellyn right there. What defense there to stop what surely would be an easy 2 for Saunders. Plett now puts the ball on the floor. Goes up. He's going to get called for and Matthew Alexander Moncrief coming into the game for Julian Lepp. And Waterman, Bryce Waterman's going to take a seat, coming in for him. So shot goes up, big 3, Saunders. And Saunders is on fire in this game. Here's Llewellyn. Up, hesitation, gets the kind roll. There's Barthélemy bringing it up. He's guarded by Llewellyn. Brzdikis tries to work in, and that's going to be a foul on Brent Jenkins, getting called for the reach-in.
Fouls on Brent Jenkins. That's his first. Number 5, Alex Decker into the game for Virginia.
And Alex Decker subbing back in. There's Moncrief. Kicks it out. Saunders hesitates. Up and in. Can't get the kind roll, though. Just not enough spin on the ball on that one, and Jenkins comes down with the rebound. Here's Llewellyn. Llewellyn, mid-range jumper. Finds the hot zone, knocks it down past the screen. And Episcopal has the lead once again. Here's Brzdikis, guarded by Decker. Talked to some of the coaching staff before the game. Decker, one of the better defenders on this team. And he's going to have his hands full with Brzdikis tonight as Jones tries to go up again. And he's going to get called with the foul. He's going to go to the line for 2. And the foul, I believe, is on, Michael Caprice. We're just waiting for the table to announce the foul there. There was a number of bodies around. This at the line here is Joe Jones, the kid out of Buffalo, New York, class of 2018 this year. Stands at 6'10", listed as a power forward. Gets the roll there. knocks down both, and it's 44-43 for Orangeville Prep. And you can see a lot of substitutions consistently going with Virginia Episcopal. They understand they only got 3 guys on the bench, and guys are going to need to keep cycling. They're going to be seeing a lot of minutes in this one. It's the only way you're going to be able to keep your stamina against a team as athletic as Orangeville Prep. Llewellyn knocks down the 3 as he's falling down with Moncrief all over him. And the lead goes back to the Bishops. Can the Bears respond? Saunders going to kick it out. Almost gets called for the carry there. Barthélemy, Moncrief for 3. Very smooth shot. Moncrief, he just got a recent offer from Vanderbilt after one of the latest showcases. Plett tries to go up, can't find it. Here's Brzdickas guarded by Decker. And Decker's going to get called with a push there as Brzdickas came on the crossover. It looked like he kind of nudged him just a little bit. A tough break for him, but it is only one. He has only have one personal foul so far. Also, we have Alanis Urbonis back into the game, class of 2021, out of Klaipėda, Lithuania. And Brzdickas is going to get the and one. And that's a move we were seeing plenty of times last season. The Euro step to the left, to the right hand finish. It's such a hard move to guard when he's got the arms moving all over the place. Defenders usually tend to hit his hands instead of the ball when he goes up with that just because of his length. But not able to knock down the free throw, an odd miss for him. And Virginia Episcopal is going to be able to keep this a one-possession game. 2:49 to go here in the second quarter. This is Jenkins, guarded by Brzdickas. Shot goes up, no good. But Plett right under, he can't finish either, and there's going to be another foul on Brzdickas as he was coming down with the ball. This one's going to be, I believe, on Jenkins. Yeah, number 11, Brett Jenkins gets called with the foul there. 49-46 for Orangeville Prep. And I believe the ball's, are they in the, yep, they are in the bonus. So Brzdickas is going to go to the line for shots. And Virginia Episcopal is going to take a timeout. And so are we here for a quick moment. Here at the Jamal Murray Kings of the North session, grind session showcase. It is Orangeville Prep 49, Virginia Episcopal 46. And we're back for the Jamal Murray Kings of the North showcase up here in Orangeville. Orangeville Prep taking on Virginia Episcopal. We have Ignas Brzdickas once again at the line going for 2. Trying to make this a 2-possession game with just over 2:30 to go here in the half. Makes good on the first. Lead up to 4, excuse me. No good on the second. Joe Jones almost had the rebound there. And it's going to be white ball as Urbonis and Kelly were battling for it.
Subs coming in. Bryce Water into the game for BES.
Here's Llewellyn bringing it up. He's going to get guarded by Sean Barthélemy. Barthélemy, who had a monster highlight dunk last week on the OSBA Game of the Week. He's going to be in tough here against Llewellyn. He's one of the top guards in all of Virginia. Of course, the Mississauga, Ontario native. Here's Llewellyn. Nice spin move, up and in, and it's going to be called for a travel. Good call by the ref there, recognizing just one too many steps before Llewellyn was able to let go of it. Excellent, the Bears trying to limit Virginia Episcopal's top scorer. Urbonis back to Barthélemy. Saunders. Urbonis puts the ball on the floor, goes up, and nice little finger roll there by the young buck. Starting to see his game evolve every chance you get a chance to see him play. Waterman can't knock that one down. Brzdikis. He's going to take it himself, up on Waterman, and finishes. A lead back up to 8 for Orangeville. Here's Llewellyn. Going to work off a screen from Plett. Hesitates, trying to wait for a possible pass there. Decides to take it himself. No spin on the ball, though, so bounces right off the back of the rim. And here's Barthélemy. Nice find inside to Jones, and it's going to be Orangeville ball as Llewellyn knocked that loose on the pass. It's going to be Sean Barthélemy with the inbound. Gets it over to Saunders. Saunders thinks about it, puts it on the floor. He's going to bring it back out. In the corner, Urbonis. Barthélemy let it fly for 3. Can't knock down the first shot of the game for him. Brzdikis can't get it either. Great defense in the post there by Jenkins. Nice find there, Waterman. Doesn't think about it, a little bobble of the ball there by Patrick Kelly, but to no avail as Saunders comes up with it. 45 seconds remaining in the half. 54-46, Orangeville Prep leads. Steal by Llewellyn, and he's off to the races. And Llewellyn throws it down, showing those hops that won him the 2016 BioSteel dunk contest. Showing it off right there at this very gym and on that very net, mind you. Here's Brzdikis. Brzdikis trying to get by his man, creates space. Nice little fadeaway jumper there, just too strong, but Jones comes down with the rebound. Goes up and in over Plett, can't finish, but Brzdikis not giving up on the play, comes down with the offensive boards, taps it in, and you can count the foul and one.
Brett Jenkins with the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Possibility 3-point play to close out this half. Knocks it down. 9-point lead. 8 seconds remaining. Shot clock is off. Llewellyn with the ball. Lets it fly. No good. And that's going to do it this half. And one half is in the books of the Jamal Murray Kings of the North showcase here, presented by the Grind Session. And Orangeville Prep defending home court so far with a 9-point lead. And a big welcome to everybody out there on YouTube land. My name is Ryan Greco. I will be taking care of the commentary duties today. This is the grind session prep circuit, and we have ourselves quite the match today. We have the visiting Virginia Episcopal out of Lynchburg, Virginia, the United States, taking on right here from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. We have Orangeville Prep. And this one is going to be an interesting one. We've got a couple of very, very talented, high D1 prospects on the floor in this game. And we're going to let Tony McIntyre work in the PA announcing right now. We're going to let him take over. We'll be right back. And a big welcome to everybody out there on YouTube land. My name is Ryan Greco. I will be taking care of the commentary duties today. This is the grind session prep circuit, and we have ourselves quite the match today. We have the visiting Virginia Episcopal out of Lynchburg, Virginia, the United States, taking on right here from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. We have Orangeville Prep. And this one is going to be an interesting one. We've got a couple of very, very talented, high D1 prospects on the floor in this game. And we're going to let Tony McIntyre work in the PA announcing right now. We're going to let him take over. We'll be right back. And I'd like to welcome everybody back here to the second half of tonight's matchup on the Grind Session Prep Circuit. This is the Jamal Murray Kings of the North Showcase. First half of it, at least, between the visiting Virginia Episcopal Bishops taking on the Orangeville Prep Bears. Both teams getting off to a hot start from the field, but it was Orangeville Prep with a couple more timely knockdown threes and a little bit better stops on defense, and they have the lead right now, 57-48 as we start this third quarter. Leading scorers at the half, Keyshawn Saunders with 22 points after a blistering display from behind the arc in that first half. While for Virginia Episcopal, it is none other than Jalen Llewellyn out of Mississauga, Ontario. He's leading his team with 18 so far. And after turnover there, it's going to be Orangeville Prep ball. They got a chance to extend this lead here early in the third. Here's Barthélemy. Here's Saunders, leading scorer for Orangeville. There's Barthélemy again, finds it inside to Moncrief. He's going to go straight up, and he gets the finish with 1 second on the shot clock. Now the lead is up to 11. This is the biggest lead of the game so far for either team. Here's Llewellyn. Currently he's got 18. There's the find. And it's Brent Jenkins who's going to get the foul. He's going to be able to go to the line for two now. And Moncrief is going to pick up the foul, his third personal. Said earlier, Jenkins no good on the first one. Guy who's averaging 7 points, just under 8 points a game so far this season. Also averaging 3.3 rebounds in the first 4 games of this season for Virginia Episcopal. And able to knock down the second, as here's Barthélemy. Saunders wide open again for another three, and you just can't leave him open. You can see a little bit of frustration there from the Episcopal defense saying, who had him? And Llewellyn tries to respond, but some great defense there by Moncrief, but there's the steal in transition by Brent Jenkins. And here's Alex Decker bringing it up now. It's guarded by Saunders. Decker up and in, tries to get the roll, doesn't get it. Moncrief comes down with the rebound, and Orangeville's off to the races. Here's Brzdikis with Plett on him. Tries to go up and in, gets the kind roll. And there's going to be a timeout here as Orangeville has kicked off this third quarter on a 7-1 run. And Virginia Episcopal find themselves down big at this point. See if they can find a way to bounce back out of this timeout. As we said, for anyone just joining us, my name's Ryan Greco. If you need to see any more updates or stats on this game, you can always follow me on Twitter at RyanGreco416. You can also, for other news and information on the Grind Session circuit, you can follow them at The Grind Session. And of course, these games are also broadcasted. All Orangeville Prep games are broadcasted on GoBears.ca on Bears TV. And of course, you could also follow us and watch us here on YouTube land, as most games, if not all of them, are broadcasted on this channel. And coming out of the timeout here, we'll see if Virginia Episcopal has been able to take away anything from that slow start. See if they can get themselves back on track and what has otherwise been a very close game, very back and forth battle between these two teams. And something to be noted as well, you know, taking a look, you got that short bench here for Virginia Episcopal. Only 8 players in total were able to make the trip up to Canada here in Orangeville. And will that be a factor in the second half here? As we've seen the coaching staff, constant rotation, constant substitutions, trying to keep their guys as fresh as possible. And you need to do that against a team, as I said, as athletic as Orangeville Prep. And getting off to a good start out of the timeout, though, is Patrick Kelly, who knocks down the mid-range jumper. That's the 6'8 junior. Here's Barthélemy into Moncrief. Back to Sean Barthélemy. And it's going to be Llewellyn there. That's going to get called with a foul. Was trying to look for the jump ball, but to no avail. Referee says, nope, way too much arm. And Saunders gets it in off the inbounds, trips, and it looks like there's going to be another call there. And that's Llewellyn's second foul. I don't think I've ever seen a player pick up 2 fouls that quickly unintentionally. Bartholomew to Brzdikis. Out of bounds this time. Great closeout by Brent Jenkins, not giving Brzdikis any room on that sideline there. And it results in a Orangeville Prep turnover. And now Virginia Episcopal has a chance to start slowly but surely clawing their way back into this game. Look inside. Here's Waterman. Waterman, one of the better shooters on this team. His shooting will continue, though, in this game. And Sean Bartholomew to Brzdikis. Brzdikis getting guarded by Jenkins here. Full court guard. There's Brzdikis now. The switch is to Llewellyn. Jenkins comes back, though. Brzdikis, no good on the follow-away shot, and there's going to be a foul. And the foul is going to be on Orangeville Prep. Will get the ball. It's a foul on Patrick Kelly. He picks up his second personal. It's just over 7 minutes to go here in the third. 64-50 for Orangeville Prep. And that's going to be Virginia Episcopal ball. There was a tip-out battle there between Brzdikis and Jenkins. And I must say, I've been very impressed with Jenkins' defensive effort here, especially in the second half. He's got a real tough matchup with Brzdikis, but he's been rising to the occasion every chance he's gotten. Here's Llewellyn. Oh, nice find inside. And Plett's going to get fouled by Joe Jones. And the two Americans doing battle there at the rim. And it's going to be Plett that's going to be rewarded with the foul shots. Of course, Jones coming out of Buffalo, New York. Here's Plett at the line. Take a quick look at his stats so far this season. 6'7" small forward. Averaging 4 points a game. So far this year he's averaging 7, though. 7 and 7 rebounds. So grinded out kind of players. He's a class of 2020. He's only going to be getting better as time goes on. Here's Moncrief. Nice spin move to lose a defender, but Plett's right there with the rejection. It's going to be out of bounds for Orangeville Prep, but Virginia has to be pleased with that defensive set just now with the big rejection from Plett. Not an easy task on Moncrief. Here's Plett on Jones. Moncrief now at the top. Saunders, Bartholomew wide open again, knocks it down, and that has been the Achilles heel of this Virginia Episcopal team in this game so far. Just an inability to cover the last man on the final pass there on those swings around the arc. And Llewellyn's going to get fouled, and I believe that's going to be on the ground, though. And Bartholomew's going to pick up the foul.
That's his first. Second. Yes,
and nearly taken away, but here's Llewellyn, gets it back. Mid-range jumper. Gets the kind roll after Jones was right in his face. Jones did a great job closing out on him, but Llewellyn, just enough spin on the ball to knock it down there, and the lead's down to 14. Here's Saunders. Bartholomew. Guarded by Waterman, tries to go up. He's going to get fouled. Strong take by the 6-foot guard. The Montreal guard, Sean Bartholomew. Floater. Can't get the kind roll, and Plett comes down with the rebound. Here's Llewellyn pushing the pace. A shot from way out in rhythm. Can't knock it down. Just a little short for Patrick Kelly. Brzdikis with the rebound. Trying to come the opposite way now. Sees some daylight, lets it go, and a very impressive finish there by Brzdikis. There's another product out of Mississauga, Ontario. Llewellyn, nice spin move there. Just not enough spin, but a great follow-up there by Patrick Kelly to put it back. 14-point lead for Orangeville Prep. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Saunders Nice find inside, and Moncrief throws it down. Taken off from the dotted line, 2 feet. Very impressive athletic finish at the rim there for the class of 2020. Kelly almost got caught with a carry there, but doesn't get it. Llewellyn, nice find there on the outside, kicks it back. Llewellyn for 3, knocks it down. What a play there by the point guard. The Princeton Tiger commit showing off that Ivy League IQ. But there's Saunders right back, gets it, and it looks like Llewellyn got hit in the face there, though, as Saunders blew by him. Obviously not intentional. Fortunately, when you got players that strong and fast moving by each other, eventually you're going to see some collisions. But here he is. Here's Llewellyn. Guarded by Brzdeikis. Thinks about it. Nice crossover. Big rejection, though. And Brzdeikis, that's the second time he's telegraphed that move. You can tell he's seen it enough times. Someone's been doing their homework.
Number 5, Alex Decker, and number 30, Atlantis.
And coming in is Alex Decker. And here's Waterman. Puts it on the ground. Gets it back out. This is Kelly. Kelly tries to knock it down, but Moncrief with the rebound. 73-58, just over 4 minutes remaining in the third. Sean Barthélemy brings it up. He's guarded by Alex Decker. Keyshawn Saunders. Barthélemy working off a screen from Urbonis, who just checked in. Moncrief for 3 in the corner. A little strong. Gets right into the hands of Urbonis, though. Barthélemy kicks it out. Moncrief one more time. Knocks it down. Gets the friendly roll with the flick of the wrist there. Llewellyn bringing it up. Llewellyn, he's played every minute of this game so far. That's Kelly. Waterman. Inside for Caprice. Caprice. Hesitation. Looks like he got knocked a little bit there, and there's going to be a foul, yeah. A little bit of a late whistle, but a very obvious foul there on that one. And he's going to go to the line for 2. Michael Caprice. He's 6'6" junior. Taking a look at his stats so far this year. They're averaging just over 2 points a game, but averaging just over 10 minutes as well so far. Of course, it's a young season, as Virginia Episcopal tends to play anywhere between 23 to 25 league games, not including any of the showcases or other major games like that. Of course, most of these teams play a lot more than the games that you just see on the stat sheets. As Saunders is going to go to the line for 2. And that's just the way basketball is at this high level of high school prep. As we said before, a lot of high D1 recruits on the floor for both teams. Saunders, he's got a number of offers, and you can see why. If this is the first time you're watching him play, he's just got an unbelievable stroke, and the development of him, just the weight and strength that he's put on, especially over this past summer. He's a guy who has been kind of waiting for his moment to shine on this team. He's been with Orangeville Prep for 3 years now, and this has really been his. He knocks down those 2 free throws, and with 3 minutes to go in this third quarter, just over, it's a 20-point lead now as Llewellyn lets it go for 3. He knocks it down, though, and the lead's back down to 17. And Virginia Episcopal just trying to keep pace at this point, see if they can make one final push in that fourth quarter. But it's all got to start with the defense. Here's Barthélemy. Moncrief left open again. The closeout just enough to affect the shot a little bit. And here's Llewellyn. The rebound was by Kelly. Waterman. Waterman, just not his day from behind the arc, but shooters got to keep shooting. If you're the coaching staff, you want to see him get in rhythm at some point. Better late than never. 2:30 to go. Saunders. Barthélemy. Loses control. Llewellyn picks it up. Gets it to Decker. Up and in. And a throwdown over top of Keyshawn Saunders. Jalen Llewellyn. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. What a throwdown. Saunders Can't get the reply. And will that be the thing that sparks? Will that be the play that sparks Virginia Episcopal? 1:52 to go. Llewellyn for three. Knocks it down. Jalen Llewellyn. And the lead's now down to 12. Here's Saunders to Barthélemy, or Bonus. Barthélemy lets it fly for three. Rebound. And Llewellyn saves it, and Caprice hangs onto it. And it's going to be Jalen Llewellyn bringing it back up. It's one thing to see a kid do this. It's another. Keep in mind, he's played every minute of this game so far with a minute to go here in the third. And to still have the awareness and hops to throw that one down. My goodness. Llewellyn tries and then loses control. And a finish there by Barthélemy, and it looks like Llewellyn's on the ground, and he was holding his knee there for a second. And there's just well, he's still moving it though, so that's okay. It looks like he may have just strained it. And he's getting helped off the floor, but luckily he's going off on his own power. That can be a scary moment anytime you see a player, especially a player of his caliber, holding his knee like that, and he's going to need a minute here. Don't want to repeat myself too much, but keep in mind he's played some heavy minutes in this game trying to keep Virginia Episcopal in it. And now it's going to be on the rest of the team to pick up the scoring load here, but they've got plenty of players that can do that. Guys like Patrick Kelly, Brent Jenkins, Alex Decker, all three of them. And, of course, we haven't even seen the best of Bryce Waterman, who hasn't had an opportunity to really kind of get it going from behind the arc. This is a team that is still very capable of making a push. And you can see Llewellyn is now walking on his own power, so we might see him a little bit later, or this might be his day, depending. There's still a lot of season left for this Virginia Episcopal team. Meanwhile, Orangeville Prep, you can see some of his former teammates like Keyshawn Saunders trying to give Jalen the thumbs up to see if he's okay. That's the last person you want to see if you're Virginia Episcopal hurting right now. And now checking into the game for the first time is Charlie Barnett, the shooting guard junior, standing at 6 feet tall. He's going to take a walk among the trees in this one. Here's Waterman, going to let it fly, knocks it down, and there's going to be an off-ball foul, and it's going to be Virginia Episcopal ball. And it looks like the refs are thinking about counting the basket there, and head coach Nathan Johnson voicing his displeasure at the idea of counting the basket plus the foul, and no basket. And 42 seconds remaining. Virginia Episcopal trying to get themselves back in this. They currently trail 80-66.
42 seconds left in the quarter. We're shooting two. It's a bonus.
And there's going to be 2 foul shots now, as the referees were saying. Alex Decker gets the kind roll on the first one. And here's the second one. This one in play now. Knocks it down. And 80-68, 40 seconds remaining. Guarded by Decker. Barthélemy. The 2-3 zone is in effect here for Virginia Episcopal. Bonus. Barthélemy. Moncrief. Orangeville Prep just working it around the perimeter, looking for an open shot, killing some time. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Moncrief for 3, doesn't get the roll. Big rebound though. And Decker's off to the races. Decker up, and big rejection by Joe Jones. You can see the footsteps coming. And anyone who knows Jones knows he lives for those kind of shots. Volleyball spikes it back, but it's still Virginia Episcopal ball. They have a chance to keep going. VES with the possession. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to wait for the last one. Decker lets it fly from way out. 3 seconds remaining, nothing but air. And here comes the Bears. Our bonus for 3 at the buzzer, knocks it down, and the lead's back up to 15. And with that, Orangeville Prep now returning the lead to 15 going into the fourth. And some good news if you're a Bishops fan. Jalen Llewellyn is walking around, so most likely we'll be seeing him back on the floor to kick off this fourth quarter. But with that, we're going to take a quick break. My name is Ryan Greco. This is the Grind Session. Jamal Murray, Kings of the North Showcase. It is Orangeville Prep 83, Virginia Episcopal 68. And we're getting just ready for final quarter action here. It is the fourth quarter. And after a mini run by Bishops, who were down by as much as 20 to bring it within 12, a last second 3-point shot to close out that third quarter by Alanis Bonus restored the lead back to 15 for Orangeville Prep, and they're going to try and close it out here with 10 minutes. The final 10 minutes, that is, here in this fourth quarter. As Junior Farquhar making his first appearance back on the floor since the first quarter. Of course, he's under some controlled minutes here from the coaching staff due to an earlier season injury. And if any team has the depth to control his minutes, it is Orangeville Prep, as Bryce Waterman tried to find the inside pass. It's tipped away by Farquhar, but it's still going to be Virginia Episcopal ball here. 18 seconds on the shot clock, 9:42 to go here in this game. Waterman tries to go in. He's rejected. But Caprice with the rebound for 3, knocks it down. Number 11, Brent Jenkins. And they're going to need every single one of those. The 2-3 zone is on for Virginia Episcopal, but it looks like we've got Jenkins, who's trailing Brzdikis the entire way through. And Moncrief is left wide open. Short, Llewellyn with the rebound. There's one thing you got to love about this Virginia Episcopal team is they rebound. Everybody gets back to the rim to try and limit those second chance opportunities, and Waterman just lets that one fly. And that's not going to work. 83-70 now. Farquhar attacks the basket, up and in. Very nice finish with the left hand there. And Farquhar out of Côte Saint-Luc in Quebec. There's Jalen Llewellyn. Llewellyn, probably one of the best dunks we've seen in game in Orangeville Prep in this gym. And that is saying something. We've seen some pretty impressive players play in this gym, but that's something with something else. Leaping over the defender, and there's Matthew Alexander Moncrief, just as I'm talking about dunks. Guess what? He throws one down. Here's Llewellyn on the inside. Caprice, very nice controlled finish. Here's the footsteps. He doesn't care. He lays it in for 2. It is now 87-74. 8 minutes to go in this game. Steal by Llewellyn again, and he's off to the races and just loses control of the ball, but still manages to go up and in. Barthélemy trying to go for the ball that chance, but Llewellyn got it first, and at that point, he saw nothing but daylight to finish at the rim. Here's Barthélemy. 11-point lead for Orangeville Prep. Brzdikis gets it, up and in. Nope, can't get it, but there's going to be a foul, and it's going to be on the ground, though. As Brzdikis was coming down, it looks like there was a hand. And the foul is going to be on Michael Caprice. And we got some substitutions. Bryce Waterman and Patrick Kelly are coming out. Into the game is Ismail Plett. And Alex Decker, I believe, came in. Yeah, it's Decker now that's going to be the one that's locking up on Brzdickas. Three-point shot is good for Sean Barthélemy. A very, very impressive shooting team. Llewellyn finding Caprice right under the rim, cross-court pass. Tries to go up and in. Nice finish there by Caprice with the defender draped all over him. Joe Jones, he's a big blocking machine, but Caprice create the separation and finish. Very impressive. Here's Moncrief, Barthélemy, Farquhar. There's one thing about both of these teams, a lot of composure, very methodical in how they're running their offenses. Moncrief there, just wide open, unchallenged by Caprice. Just waiting for the right spots and moments. 14-point lead now. Llewellyn, guarded by Farquhar, finds it inside to Caprice. Caprice goes up, but he's blocked by Moncrief, and Brzdickas comes down with it, and they're off to the races. Brzdickas up and in with the left hand, finishes. The lucky lefty gets it done again. As Caprice was was trying to get that shot up on the previous set, you could see Llewellyn was cutting the basket looking for it, but couldn't find it. Here's Llewellyn trying to do it himself. Nice kiss off the glass there, though. And he's just shown up big. Whenever they needed a bucket to try and keep them within striking distance, Llewellyn has answered that call. Big reason why he's ranked as one of the top guards in the state of Virginia at this moment. And a kind roll by Barthélemy. And that's one thing about this Orangeville prep team, though. There's going to be a timeout for Virginia Episcopal. I think a very wise decision, as Orangeville prep, it just seems every time Virginia seems they can get themselves on a bit of a run, maybe get a stop here, stop there, Orangeville prep is just responding from behind the arc consistently, and that's just one of the things that they do so well. They can shoot the ball extremely well, especially if you leave them open long enough. And I mean, my goodness. So far, though, Orangeville prep doing what they need to do to defend home court here with 5:49 to go here in the fourth. With that, we're going to take a quick break as Orangeville prep 97, Virginia Episcopal 80. And we are back. 5:49 to go here in the fourth. Virginia Episcopal trying to make one last push here to get themselves back in this one. Llewellyn, nice find on the inside. What a dime and what a finish by number 11, Brent Jenkins. I'm falling in love with this guy watching him play right now. Here's Farquhar. No good. Another opportunity for Virginia to bring the lead down. Alex Decker almost loses a handle on it, gets it back, gets it over to Caprice, thinks about it. Here's Jenkins, thinks about it. Here's Kelly for three, knocks it down. Patrick Kelly, 12-point game now, 5 minutes to go. But can Virginia Episcopal guard the three-point line? That is the big question in this game. Can they guard it? Can they limit the opportunities of this high, potent offense that is Orangeville prep? Farquhar kicks it out. There's Barthélemy in the corner again. Misses that time. You can just tell that Virginia kind of got away with one there by leaving the man open in the corner. Here's Kelly one more time for three. Can't knock it down. Brzdickas with the rebound. Brzdickas. Decker on him. Now getting double teamed by Decker and Llewellyn. Decker's still there. And there's going to be a foul on Decker there as he knocked it loose from behind Brzdikis. Looks like he got a little bit of wrist as it happened. And it's going to be, and he's going to pick up his second personal that is out for Alex Decker. And here we go on the inbound. Sean Barthélemy inside to Jones, knocks it in. Count the basket and one. And you got to wonder, is the fatigue factor starting to set in just a little bit for Virginia Episcopal? As we've stated before in this game, their bench is only 3 deep from making this trip. Originally it was supposed to be 4 deep, but Saliu Diop was held up at the border, unfortunately, due to visa issues. As there's Llewellyn knocking it down, brings it back down to within 13 with 4 minutes to go. But this is where the defensive stops are going to be so important for Virginia Episcopal. There's a shot. Saunders gets his own rebound. Up and no good. No spin on the ball that time. Bricks out. Here's Llewellyn. Llewellyn to Kelly. Kelly with the great hands finishing. Patrick Kelly. Kelly averaging almost a double-double so far this season at 8 points and 8 rebounds. But here's a guy averaging a little bit more than that. Keyshawn Saunders who has it. And Brzdikis. Brzdikis. Nice shot there. Something you want to see if you're the Orangeville Prep coaching staff. If he's got a chance to back down the little guy and get a shot over top. And there's the foul. And one. Count the basket. Jalen Llewellyn out of Mississauga, Ontario. Knocks it down for Virginia Episcopal. And it looks like it's just a bit of a cramp up there on the calf, but he's okay. Keep in mind he's been playing some major minutes. He only had a couple minutes of a break there at the end of the third quarter after going down, after banging his knee. And a chance to make this a 10-point game if he can sink this free throw. And let's talk about Jalen Llewellyn for a second here. He was the BioSteel, the 2016 BioSteel dunk champ. He's been to the BioSteel All-Canadian All-Star game, which is the equivalent of the McDonald's All-American High School in the States, All-American High School Classic. Of course, there's 4 years now we've had the BioSteel All-Canadian happen. He's been a part of 2 of them so far, and no doubt he will be a part of the third one should he remain healthy, averaging 22 points a game through 4 games, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 1 steal, just over 1 steal. Princeton commit in the Ivy League for next season. And he's done pretty much just about anything that you could have asked for if you're a high school basketball player. He's gotten just about every honor you could think of up until this point. And there's going to be a timeout for Virginia Episcopal as he knocks down that free throw. And with 3:26 to go now, it is 102-92 for Orangeville Prep. And one thing that cannot be understated so far in this game has been the impressive shooting display from behind the arc of Orangeville Prep. And this is a team that if you follow enough, especially Canadian basketball fans that are hearing me, know that this is a team that will knock down their open shots. Virginia Episcopal is more or less finding that out the hard way. But there's one thing that any of us Canadian basketball fans that are watching this game right now have to be impressed with is just the composure of this Virginia Episcopal team. Whether it was Brett Jenkins, whether it was Patrick Kelly, whether it was Alex Decker, who had at multiple occasions having to guard. Keep in mind, at Decker standing at only 6'3", having to guard the 6'7" Brzdikis, a guy who has made a high school career off of feasting off of smaller defenders. He's stood up to the task and has, for the most part, done a very effective job at trying to keep Brzdikis in check whenever the Orangeville Prep's half-court defense, offense has been on display. And this has been a very, very impressive display by this team, regardless of what the rest of the score is going to say for the rest of this game. I'm going to be walking away impressed with this entire lineup. And as for Orangeville Prep, this is business as usual. It's their court. They're trying to defend it. They're trying to close this one out. They got the 10-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Let's see if they can do it. Here's Jones. He's going to get guarded by Kelly. Barthélemy to Moncrief. Here's Saunders. Saunders, who was on fire in that first half from behind the arc. Big reason why Orangeville Prep is enjoying this 10-point lead. And there's Jones working with the left hand over top of Kelly. Knocks it down. Here's Decker to Llewellyn. Llewellyn. Stop and go. Gets it back out to Kelly. Here's Jenkins. Llewellyn. Llewellyn. Brzdikis on him. Llewellyn knocks it down. Creating the space on Brzdikis. Learning from past mistakes on driving on him. But here's Brzdikis. He wants it back. He wants to take on Caprice. Goes up and in. Doesn't get the foul call, but Jones gets the rebound on the box out. Jones kicks it out to Barthélemy. And Barthélemy gets the call. He's going to go to the line. And unfortunately, after that steal, Llewellyn comes up limping, but he's going to stay in the game. And it looks like it's the calf muscle that's been bothering him, just cramping up at this point. Someone get that kid some water. Llewellyn still bringing it up. A lot of fight in this kid. This is his homecoming. This may be the last time we ever see Llewellyn playing high school basketball on a Canadian floor, so you know he doesn't want to come out of any of these games that he has. But there's a steal and a foul, and Decker with the hard foul.
That's an intentional foul.
And it's Llewellyn that comes and helps him up, as us Canadians are known to do.
That's Alex Decker's third.
And Decker picks up the third personal. Barthélemy, no good from the first one. The guard out of Montreal, Quebec, class of 2018. Makes good on the second one. And still a 10-point lead with 2:08 to go in this game. And if Orangeville Prep just takes care of the basketball at this point, they can close this one out. Virginia's going to need to have some big-time shots. Barthélemy, and that one right there, that might be the dagger, unless Virginia can make a run right now. 108-95, 152 to go in this one. There's going to be a foul, and it's going to be on Virginia Episcopal. See who the foul's on?
That's 4 on Michael Caprice.
And Michael Caprice is going to be the one called with that foul. And bringing it up is going to be Sean Barthélemy. Thinks about attacking, brings it back. Here's Saunders. Saunders find a little space to work with. Up and under. You can count it. Keyshawn Saunders. And there's going to be a delay of game on Orangeville Prep. This ball was just whipped just a little too hard at the referee. And Llewellyn bringing it up. 110-95, 140 to go. Llewellyn lets it fly. And Barthélemy. He landed awkwardly on that one. And it's looking like he may have rolled an ankle on that one. Llewellyn has just been trying to grind through everything here at this point. Well, saying he can't get up. He can't get up. He can't put any pressure on it because the cramping is just too much right now. As Bryce Waterman is going to come in for Llewellyn. And once again, though, he's leaving on his own power, so that's all you can ask for. You see the crowd showing their appreciation. He's got a lot of friends and family in attendance for this one. As this may be his second last. He's got one more tomorrow against AI Prep. But this Virginia Episcopal team, despite what most likely is going to turn out as a defeat here, having a very strong showing against what could be one of the top teams in all of Canada in Orangeville Prep. A roster with 8 deep coming down here and keeping it close the whole way through, coming down by as much as 20. They could have given up, but nope, they made a run of their own to bring it within 15, 12, 10. But Orangeville Prep just too much for them on this night as Brzdikis misses that layup, and the rebound's going to be for Caprice. And here's Kelly for three. He's been feeling it. And tries to throw down, but no good. Brent Jenkins trying to do a little bit of a statement to throw it down there, but just can't finish it. And here's Barthélemy. 1:10 to go in this one. 110-98 for Orangeville Prep over Virginia Episcopal Bishops. Barthélemy kicks it back out. Saunders for three. Knocks it down, nothing but net. And see, when he catches it in rhythm like that, very rarely will you ever see him miss. Jenkins thought about it. Gets it over to Decker. Decker drives to the basket, up and in, and there's going to be a foul for Decker as he tried to go walking amongst the trees. That is Joe Jones and Matthew Alexander Moncrief. And into the game for Orangeville Prep is going to be number 22, William DeHeer. 6'3" guard, class of 2019. Originally from Uganda. As Decker makes good on the first one. Let's see if they can hit the century mark on this one. And they do. 113-100 with 49 seconds remaining. Alanis Urbonis now comes in. And there's the small forward, class of 2021 out of Lithuania. Making yet another appearance in this game. And Barthélemy, there's going to be probably one more offensive set for Orangeville Prep before this one's done. And there's going to be a travel on DeHeer. And now it's going to be Virginia Episcopal that's going to get maybe one or two more offensive sets before this one's over. Decker, guarded by Urbonis. Kelly's just going to let it fly. No good. Rebound Moncrief, and there's going to be a foul. And the foul is going to be on Moncrief. It looks like he shoved Waterman as he was going up for the rebound. Yeah, he gets called for the push. No good on that one. Knocks down the second one, Bryce Waterman. 113-101, 30 seconds remaining. Decker playing full court defense here on Barthélemy. And Barthélemy still holding on to it, loses the defender now. Barthélemy up and big rejection there. Decker to Waterman. Caprice for three at the top of the key, rims out. And there's going to be another foul on, we'll see who it's on right now. William DeHeer is going to get called with that foul. And that one, no good on that. All right, 8 seconds remaining. This one's just about finished. And that'll do it. And your final on the first of two, Jamal Murray, Kings of the North Showcase, presented by the Grind Session and Athlete Institute. The Orangeville Prep Bears defend home court against the visiting Virginia Episcopal Bishops with a final score of 113-102. And a very impressive display by both teams. Orangeville, of course, the story for them, just some very, very, very impressive shooting from behind the arc. Virginia Episcopal, though, showing absolutely no quit whatsoever in them, fighting the entire way through. And a very respectable finish considering the fact that they found themselves down by as much as 20 at one point And with only starting off the game with only 2 guys on the bench due to visa issues, and finishing the game with only 3 guys on the bench, it was a tough go about for a short-staffed Virginia Episcopal team. And regardless, though, a strong showing, but they've got to be disappointed about the finish. But regardless, it was a fantastic game, and the true winners here were the fans. So with that being said, my name is Ryan Greco. This is Bears TV. And I want to thank everybody who was watching this game on both sides of the border. And a big thank you to our production staff and our scorers and our referees. And with that being said, we're going to be signing off. We will see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock AI Prep. We'll be taking on Virginia Episcopals. They are right back at it for the second half of the Jamal Murray Kings of the North Showcase presented by the Grind Session. We will see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a fantastic night.